Hello, children. Very good evening. In today's class, we are going to see the book back exercise of the lesson called Alice in Wonderland. Before we start the exercise, I would like to give a short summary of the lesson. It is the most famous story of a little girl on an adventure in her imagination. Alice, the main character, goes through many things and finally realizes it was just her dream. One day, Alice and her sister were sitting on the bank of a river and were idling. Her sister was reading a book, so Alice tried to read it once or twice, whatever she was reading. The book did not have any pictures or dialogues. Alice did not like the book, as it did not have anything interesting. The day was blazing, together with Alice feeling very sleepy and bored. Alice thought of collecting a few daisies to make a necklace. Suddenly, she saw a white rabbit with pink eyes scurrying away. The rabbit took a watch from his pocket and checked the time. He shook his head and then went into the rabbit's hole. Alice wanted to know why the rabbit was in such a hurry. She was very curious, so she followed the rabbit inside the rabbit hole. At the entrance, the pit dropped her. Alice felt inside. After a long time, Alice saw a three-legged table made of glass. There was just a tiny golden key on it. Alice started looking around and she found a curtain. Behind it was a little door that was about 15 inches high. Alice was curious and she tried the key in that lock of the door. To her surprise, it opened and she could see a beautiful garden through it. Alice was too big to enter the door. Alice looked around on the three-legged table and she saw a green colored bottle on it. When she looked keenly, Drink Me appeared on it. So there was a tag which titled as Drink Me. As we all expected, Alice took the bottle and drank it. She started shrinking and she came to the size of a doll. Alice opened the door and went inside to see the garden. She liked the garden very much, but she was surprised as she became as small as the insects that crawl on the floors. Soon Alice became bored with her size and shouted to be big again. The white rabbit, which was passing near her, got startled by her shouts. The white rabbit thought that Alice was his servant, and he ordered her to bring his gloves and fan from his cottage. Alice was confused by whatever the rabbit was saying. She thought that if she can go to the cottage, maybe she could find her way out. While Alice was going out, she saw a piece of chocolate cake on the table. Next to it, on the table near the doorway, she could see an Eat Me tag. Alice was very hungry, so she ate the cake immediately, and this time she grew of more considerable size than the house. The white rabbit appeared again and asked Alice to get out of his way. He said that she was blocking his door. Alice picked up his fan and she started to shrink again. It was a magical fan and she shrunk smaller than her original size. Alice was upset as she wanted to be her original size. Then Alice saw a green caterpillar with a pink jacket who was sitting on a large mushroom. The caterpillar was smoking a bubble pipe. He said that one side would make her big and the other side small, and slithered away. Alice did not understand and asked the caterpillar for one side of what. The caterpillar replied he was talking about one side of the mushroom. Alice ate the piece of mushroom and started growing. Now she wanted to know which way she has to go. When she was in confusion, a voice from somewhere said that one path leads to Mad Hatter and the other lead to Le March Hare. Alice found a smiling Cheshire cat on the tree. He said that he would meet at the Queen's croquet game and then it disappeared. Alice saw a table set under a tree in front of a house. Both March Hare and Hater were having tea there. A dormouse was sitting in between, which was asleep. Both of them were using it as a cushion and were resting on it. Alice thought that the dormouse was sleeping, so he had no problem with them doing that on his head. Though the table was large, they were at one corner huddled together. When they saw Alice, they said that there was no room, but Alice insisted that there was plenty of room for her to enter. She sat in a large armchair and Hare offered her some wine. But Alice couldn't see any. It was only tea, and she said that she could not see any wine. March Hare spoke out that there wasn't any, but Alice got angry and said that Hare should not have any offered the wine if there was not any. Hare said that it was not nice of Alice as well to sit without being invited. Alice retaliated that she didn't know it was a table. Alice said that the table was laid for many people and not for only 3 people. Mad Hatter interrupted and said that Alice could stay if she could answer his riddle. Hatter asked why a raven was like a writing desk. Alice could not understand anything, though it was English. She said that same to Hatter. Hatter asked if Alice could solve the riddle. Alice said that she could not and asked the answer from the Hatter. Both Hatter and Hare uttered that they did not know anything the answer to the riddle. Alice said that they should not waste their time asking riddles which have no answers and instead to do something worthwhile. Alice found herself in the middle of a field where the Queen of Hearts was playing a croquet game. She had her guards and gardeners who were card shaped. The gardener had planted white roses instead of red roses. So the queen was very upset and she asked to take off their heads and paint those roses as red in color because she hates white roses. The queen noticed Alice and asked her if she knew how to play the game. Alice replied that she knew with a low tone, but she has never played with flamingos or hedgehog as a bat for the croquet game. The ruler ordered Alice to play with her and let her win, or she would punish her. Alice tried to play well with the flamingo as the bat, but she could not. So the queen asked the soldiers to cut the head of Alice. Suddenly, a distant trumpet sounded, calling for some session in the court. Everyone went to the courtroom. The white rabbit, which Alice had seen following from the starting, announced that the court session is going to start. He asked Alice to come to the stand. Alice just did as the rabbit said and was looking at the jury box where March Hare and Maid Hatter were making noise. The dormouse still slept, and the cherished cat was motionlessly smiling at her. Alice could not understand what was going on and asked the same. The queen said that she found Alice guilty of stealing heart shaped tarts and that she could be punished by cutting off her head. Alice felt that it was silly of the queen to think like that as she was fairly playing the game. Alice was suddenly woken up by someone. and the voice was asking her to wake up as she was sleeping for too long. It was her sister. Alice told her that she had a dream about a white rabbit, the mad tea party, and the Queen of Arts and the court session. But her sister was not interested in her dream, and she continued reading her book. Alice kept quiet as her sister was not paying any attention. Just then, she saw a white rabbit with pink eyes behind a tree. So, all of you take your classwork and write the question answers. Why did Alice follow the rabbit? Alice followed the rabbit to find out why the rabbit was in a hurry. Do you think this was a good idea? No, this was not a good idea. Why can't Alice get through the little door into the garden? Alice could not get through the little door into the garden as she was too big to enter. Why does Alice drink from the bottle that says drink me? And why does she eat from the cake that says eat me? Out of curiosity, Alice drinks from the bottle that says drink me. As she is hungry, she eats the cake that says eat me. How does Alice feel after all these changes? Alice wants to get back to normal size. What do you think is going to happen next? She may shrink again after eating or touching anything. So, this is a very important question, children. What challenges does Alice face and how does she overcome them? The size of Alice changes. She becomes no bigger than a doll. After eating the cake, she gets grown up larger than the house. When she touches the magical fan, she becomes small again. She gets insulted by March Hare and Mad Hatter at the tea party. The Queen of Arts puts her on trial and accuses her of stealing. She declares the punishment also. When Alice gets up from sleep, she realizes the mad tea party and the trial are part of her strange dream. Okay, children, thank you.